get a trainer like Aidan O'Brien, who's had the likes of Galileo, High Chaparral, Rock of Gibraltar, Yates, Camelot, Nicholas Abbey, Alexandrova, Imagine, I could go on, and they say, this is the best I've ever had, then you sit up and listen.
It's Australia waltzing to victory in the Irish Derby.
Australia by a Derby winner, out of an Oaks winner. A good horse becomes a great horse at York. Australia wins the Jumpmont International.
Breed the best to the best and hope for the best. That's exactly what Lord Derby did when he sent his brilliant race mare Ouija Board to the mighty Galileo. And the rest, as they say, is history. Australia first came to prominence when impressing in a 7-furlong maiden at the Curragh in July.
But it's Australia the leader, being chased by Carla Bianca over on the far side, a break then to Kirkani, running on over on the far rail as Political Policy, and also on the near side Australia now moving about 3 parts in front of Carla Bianca.
Next time out at Leopardstown, he faced the highly touted and then Epsom Derby favourite Free Eagle.
Australia's behind him here. Lovely horse as well, Australia. He's out of the great Ouija Board. He costs 525,000 a yearling in the bottom. You can see how the bottom, he's a lovely sort of horse. Stronger type of horse maybe than Free Eagle. Nice relaxed horse as well. But if you stand behind him and watch him walk away from you, he's got a good stout backside on him. He's more a 2-year-old look about him, even though he's the pedigree of a horse to train on as a 3-year-old.
They swing for home over 2 furlongs to race. Kingfisher the leader from Free Eagle. Australia being asked to close now as they race down inside the last 2 furlongs. Free Eagle with Australia coming there on the outside. Behind these now in 3rd place is a weakening Kingfisher, and Australia has gone to the front from Free Eagle, and Australia has gone away from him as they race inside the final furlong. Australia is the one that's going to stride to an impressive victory here. Free Eagle is well beaten in 2nd, in 3rd place is Kingfisher, and then Wexford Town. Australia easily from Free Eagle.
This horse is probably very, very good. He's really interesting, and he's got Epsom written all over him. By a Derby winner, out of an Oaks winner, doesn't he win well?
Yeah, he's got the pedigree to match his looks. As I said, he was a 525,000 yearling, a cracking horse in this fella. Quickened up really well, went away for Joseph when he got down to give him a smack. He's improved no end from his last run, and he put some daylight between himself and Free Eagle. He just didn't put a couple of lengths. He put 5 or 6. He was absolutely sprinted away. And he's out of a mare that won 7 Grade 1s and was a good mare over 1.25 miles and 1.5 miles, and by Galileo. I mean, he's got everything you'd want. Looks, pedigree and ability. What more could you ask for?
Australia's reappearance came in a vintage renewal of the 2000 Guineas, where he was only just denied.
On the stand side, Australia is coming through with shifting power and 2 or more. Far side, Kingman, Knight of Thunder's running on very well. Down the near side, Australia, Kingman, far side, Knight of Thunder. Australia near side, spread right across the track is Knight of Thunder. May just have got it.
One of the unfortunate aspects of the 2000 Guineas is the width of the rolling mile, and sometimes we have seen in the past horses get beaten there who have gone on perhaps to be at least the equal of their conquerors on the opposite side of the track, and I suspect that was the case this year.
Next it was on to Epsom to fulfil his destiny.
Kingston Hill on the right, on the left is Australia. They look like fighting it out with 1.5 furlongs left to go, and Australia takes over from Kingston Hill. Romsdale is back in 3rd place, then Aron, but it's Australia that's kicked 1.5 lengths clear. Kingston Hill is battling on. Australia from Kingston Hill, born to win the Derby. His day of destiny. Australia wins from Kingston Hill in 2nd. Cream rose to the top here. Australia, by a Derby winner, out of an Oaks winner, has fulfilled the dream. He wins the Derby.
A horse that was bred for this day, for this moment, for this race, has come home, and he was always in a great position. He was always travelling well. He's a beautifully balanced horse, and when he came here to challenge Kingston Hill, it was just a case of would he absolutely see it right through to the line, or would Kingston Hill outstay it? Well, that you can see from this overhead view, emphatically answered by the horse whose sire Galileo won the Derby, whose dam Ouija Board won the Oaks. Oh, he stays all right.
It was great to see the best horse in the race with the best profile who comes in. He kills a good field. He showed so many gears throughout the race, traveled completely on the bridle, and he just put the race to bed as soon as he kicked. So it was a true great Derby winner today.
You have to think this is a deep derby. Australia came with terrific credentials from the 2000 Guineas, and that form is looking increasingly strong by the week.
What does your gut instinct tell you about how good this derby is?
I think it's very good. I just looked at the time flash up there. They've run well inside standard and we had 6 mil of rain. Everyone's been outside standard there. I think it was a very good derby, but I think it'll turn out to be a high-class derby, and that's what you want.
Sometimes when we look at horses' pedigrees, we have to search through into the third and fourth dams to find horses of real quality. Jim, this will be one of the more straightforward ones you've had to assess after a derby.
It most certainly is, Nick. Ouija Board was quite simply a brilliant filly. She ran 22 times. She won 10 of those, 7 at Group 1 level, over 4 seasons. She was placed 8 times. Galileo, he's the best sire in the world. Think Frankel, New Approach, to name but 2.
I go back a fair way now, and I think the first thing that marked out Galileo as a top horse was the way he moved. He moved like a cat, and Australia has a similar motion. My Channel 4 colleague Jim McGrath pointed at this. Look at his back end, look at the way he springs from his back end and the propulsion he gets. And he was chased home by a classic winner, Kingston Hill at Epsom, but he had him under control pretty much all the way through the final 2 furlongs, and that was a really, really striking derby performance.
A horse of regal breeding with a father and son team once again successful in this year's Investec Derby. They said that Australia was the best they've ever had, and Joseph O'Brien said he's the best he's ever ridden.
The thing about the Derby as well is that sometimes it can break horses as much as make them, because it's fairly early on in a horse's cycle of form as a 3-year-old. The pace is often really strong, and putting a lot into victory can sometimes cause a horse to go backwards. But from Australia we saw him go on to even better heights in the Irish Derby, and that told me something about the level of his ability. The race didn't set him back, he could take it within him and move on to greater things.
Onto the Curragh for the Irish Derby, where he emulated his sire Galileo.
Here comes the up now, Australia. Joseph O'Brien, a look over his shoulder, no dangers. Into the last half furlong now, but Australia is cantering over them and going to the line. It's Australia waltzing to victory in the Irish Derby. Australia very easily from Kingfisher second. Another 1-2-3 for Aidan O'Brien in this race with Orchestra third.
Just how special is he, tell us?
He's a massive engine, and we still haven't seen the best of this horse. I'd love to ride him a mile and a quarter. I think that's going to be his thing. Fast ground, love the ground today, it's beautiful ground. It's a massive engine.
As a 2-year-old, I think in very early on, he did 4:11 second furlongs working half speeding, and that's very hard to do, Robert. And he was able to do it like a very early stage for him.
While Galileo first took on his elders over the 1.5 miles of the King George, Australia was dropped back to 1.25 miles for York's Juddmonte International.
Well, we'll soon know what to make of it. I thought after the Derby that Australia could be even better at 1.25 miles. I think he looks great. He's really done well since Epsom.
And here it is. This is where we find out how good Australia is as they run down the home straight on the Knavesmire, heading for the final 3 furlongs. Kingfisher being pressurised by Mukadram. Harrod is driven along, so too Telescope. Australia cantering on the left, then the Grey Gatsby as they race on towards the final quarter mile. Mukadram and Telescope, they met at Ascot last time. Harrod on the right, but here comes Joseph O'Brien on Australia down the near side. Australia quickening up well to take over, followed through by the Grey Gatsby inside the final furlong. Australia by 2 lengths to Telescope, chased all the way by the Grey Gatsby, but it's Australia, the Derby winner, who strides clear of the Grey Gatsby. A good horse becomes a great horse at York. Australia wins the Juddmonte International.
He was literally ready to come for a racecourse gallop, Claire, really. That's where he was at.
For a horse that was just ready for a racecourse gallop, my word, he's pulverised the field here. And
Aidan said that he didn't think he had him 100% fit. I mean, how good is he going to be when he's in top song? I mean, he cruised past the field. You know, he won in the end, won by 2.5 lengths, and it was a great win. He won the Derby 1.5 miles. He comes back 1.25 miles with all the horses, destroys the field, and that's what good horses are made of, you know. Well, you know,
and I know
if you're looking at a replacement for Galileo, I mean, he seems the obvious choice. I mean, he's had enough speed to run in the Guineas. He won the Derby back to 1.25 miles and gets some great horses. And you know, now he really showed to the world that he can walk the walk.
2014 was a very strong crop of 3-year-olds. On the balance of the evidence that we have in front of us, these horses, Kingman, Tagruda, the Grey Gatsby, Kingston Hill, and Australia perhaps above all. An exceptional bunch of horses.
He ran in a tremendous Guineas, slightly unlucky third in probably the best Guineas we've seen for some while. He took the Derby with real zip and real zest. He was excellent at York. So it's right across the distances. A mile at Newmarket, a mile and a half at Epsom and the Curragh, an extended mile and a quarter at York, and equally striking performance at Eastbourne.
Australia, the heir apparent to Galileo.